Okay, so this is Srila Prabhupada kitchen. Of course, it is much better than it was. It was only mud and Hare Krishna. So that's where I started my service in Vrindavan to Srila Prabhupada to cook for him. And at that time, the wall was like mud. Now it's nice water running, but we had no water running. I had some bucket with water. Sometime Bhagaji, a friend of Srila Prabhupada, will come and he will sit on the floor and make very, very soft chapati, which Srila Prabhupada enjoyed very much. There was no gas, no oven, so I used to make a fire in a chula, a little fire.
Some fireplace.
No, it was iron, and you put wood in it, or cow dung, gola, and you put your pot on it, you cook chapatis. So that was the only thing to cook. There was no fan, no possibility. And I enjoyed it very much. It was very nice. So when I used to cook here, after I would come out. So here it was only mati, means sand. And we used to clean actually this garden with gober from the cow dung, with some water and a broom and a dookie like this. And we used to make it clean like this, everywhere.
You put all over?
Yeah, all over. So there was nothing here, only mati, sand. And here there was no stone, nothing, only sand. And sometimes afraid if there was some snakes. And it was a little bit of rosin we had put quickly. So I used to come here, and many times Srila Prabhupada used to take his breakfast or lunch here. So when it was a soft weather. So he would sit on a very little asan here, and with a small table. I don't know, in there it is a little table. He said it was in Radha Damodar, but it looks completely like the table that I was serving Srila Prabhupada here. So what I was doing, I was bringing his cooker, 3 stairs cooker, and he would like to have his dal very hot and his rice very hot. So I put it near his little table, and I will put a thali with katoris where was the vegetables. And Prabhupada will serve himself the rice and the dal. And very important to be hot. And I had put 1 chapati, and then I run. I make 1 more chapati, I run back, I give him more chapati, like this. So you can see how simple was living my spiritual master. Just a little pillow and a little table. And he would look here, and he was feeling very, very satisfied. and generally love very much my Prashadam. And so many stories happened here. So here, Srila Prabhupada Garden. So it may have changed a little, but there was not all these plants, not only mati, few roses. We tried to do it as nice as possible, but very simple, very quickly, because he wanted his house finished quickly. Because before, everything was open. You see, here it was the big kitchen that we cook for the devotees, just around here, there. And here we live with Srila Prabhupada, actually. There was no kitchen, no house. We had a few huts. So that was the first. Like one time, I would sit. Like one time around here, I think my hut was here and Prabhupada was there. And it was a pile of construction matter like sand and so many things in the middle. And there was also Ananda Baba, one of the cook of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada said he was a pure devotee. He was very old. He had always his japa and he had a small dhoti. And he served the devotees. He cooked for the devotees. Always Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. And here actually it was all this place, but you see it's difficult now because it's the house. So I'm talking about also the garden in front. So actually the huts was there, some here, devotees used to go through. And one place we made, it was like the place for taking Prashadam. The roof was like this. So you see this roof. So this was the place where we was living, with huts exactly like this. And something on the front and on the side, to make like a little house. Then there was a place like this also, that was the kitchen. In a little corner, Ananda Baba was cooking. And the other place, he was serving Prashadam on leaf plates. And one time, we was living very close with Srila Prabhupada, as you can see. So, like one time, Guru Kripa and Gopal Krishna was in the hut, and happened I was there also. And Guru Kripa was making some tilak. We used to make our own tilak. So Srila Prabhupada come in, and Tamal, Krishna Maharaj, he was lying on a bed and snoring very loud. So Prabhupada come and say, "Oh, Guru Kripa, you are making tilak? Hey, Goswami, what are you doing? Wake up." Like this. So as soon as I came to Ramanriti, in that place where we used to take Prashadam, it looks quite big compared to our rooms. So I set up an altar, and I disturbed very much Ananda Baba, because Ananda Baba was a Babaji, and he was very renounced. And actually, he never have association with ladies. Suddenly, some ladies came and from the West, and we don't know the tradition, we don't know the Vaishnav etiquettes. So I thought, wow, this is Ananda Baba Maharaj, who was cooking for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, the spiritual master of Krishna. So the only thing I wanted is to associate with him and to learn from him. So I don't know what is Babaji, I don't know anything. I had a little girl like this of 3 years old, and my young heart, you know, to serve devotees and Prabhupada. So I remember he was like there, and I come straight to him. And more I was coming near him, more he was going back. So he was going like this. Was going like this to me. So I could not understand. People never do that in our country. So I thought, one moment I thought, do I have to do the same? Maybe this is the tradition. So I could not approach him. So one moment I understood that I have to stay. One moment I understood that I have to stay a little far from here, you know. So then I was telling him, me cooking. He was speaking very little English. So, no, mother, no. So the next day I come and I decided in my mind that there is, in my heart actually, I want to cook with him. So I want to learn from him. So I came back in the morning the next day, and I don't enter. I felt I have to be very careful. He's a great personality, and he did not come to the West. He's not Srila Prabhupada, so I have to respect him. So I put my head like this, and I saw him cooking. Me cooking with you? No, mother. Then he come out and he say, mother, you go Yamuna. go Yamuna. Go Yamuna. So I used to go every morning to Yamuna. But before I go, I ask him, me cooking? No. And one time he come to me, he said, me? The name of my husband before he gets sannyas was Saurabh. Me, Saurabh wife. So I look at him, I could not understand. I said, me Saurabh wife. No, mother. Me Saurabh wife. Me cooking for Saurabh. He was thinking I really wanted to cook for my husband. So I wanted to cook for all the deities, the devotees. So then, every time I come back from Yamuna, he had not finished cooking, so I will sit near the kitchen and I will not move. You see, it's very good to have determination actually. If Krishna sees you have some desire, and this desire is very sincere, even it is impossible by etiquette, Vaishnava etiquette, he will fulfill it somehow or other. So every day I will sit there. And then one day, he looked at me and he showed me plates. And he threw one big packet of plates like that. And he showed me with his hand. So I could enter. So that was a good step in. I could enter and put the plates. So every day I started to put the plates for the devotees. And very quickly later, I found myself with him in the very small kitchen, very close to him, but he would never let me cook. He would never let me to touch the fire. But I was so happy just to be next to him, and I will handle him some some plates, some pots, some water. It was like a dream for me. And in that way, I learned a lot how to cook for Prabhupada for me, you see. So it was almost impossible in those days for us, white people, to approach anyone in Vrindavan. I used to go to do shopping in Vrindavan, some vegetables, something. This thing again, everyone was doing that to us because we was like meshlas for them, you know. So they will go like this. So I used to put my sari like this, and they will throw vegetables in it. They will not even, and I had to put the money like this. Yeah. I took it very insignificant. I accepted it completely. There was no problem for me. There was Brij Basi and people of Bharatvarsa. So I took them always as my superior, and that I could, my ancestors, and I could learn from them. So I had very, very sweet and nice relationship with every person in Vrindavan that I approached. And so many now. They was very small at that time. And I knew their father, their grandfather. And they remember. Many times I go Vrindavan and I hear Kishori, Kishori. And I see a big, and he said, oh, I was like this with my father. So it's very nice to have very respectful and nice relationship with all our brothers, sisters, friends, whoever in India and in Vrindavan. That's very, very important. So, and of course now they are accepting us. So many marriage, everything like that. So to come back here, so I set up a nice little altar, the first altar in Krishna Balaram Mandir, before it was constructed. An altar like we had before we had deities, with the Panchatattva and Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta. And we started to have actually Mangalarti and class. And slowly, slowly, somehow I cook also. Sometimes he was not cooking and I was cooking.